Have you ever thought about starting your own business? Maybe importing products you could sell online? Well, today, we're going to break down exactly how you can do it. We're talking about sourcing directly from the factory of the world, China.
You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling online, you see a product, and you just think to yourself, hey, I could sell that. It's such a common entrepreneurial dream, this idea of finding a cool product, bringing it to your own market, and building a whole business around it.
But then, reality kind of hits. The thought of competing with these huge companies, ordering massive container loads of stuff, and risking thousands and thousands of dollars, it just feels impossible for a beginner.
Well, I'm here to tell you to think again. The whole game has changed. Today, we're talking about a strategy called micro-importing, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a super cost-effective, low-risk way for regular people and small businesses to source products in small quantities. It lets you test the waters without putting all your savings on the line.
Okay, let's just dive right in. We've laid out this entire roadmap for you in 6 clear sections. And I promise, this will take you from being just a curious beginner to a confident importer who's actually ready to make their first move.
So first things first, why is everyone so focused on China? Well, the answer is pretty simple, actually. For entrepreneurs, it's pretty much the modern-day gold rush.
Tapping into China gives you direct access to what everybody calls the world's factory. And what that really means for you is lower product costs and almost infinite variety of things to choose from, and this is the big one, the potential for much, much higher profit margins than you could ever get sourcing locally.
All right, let's move on to what is maybe the most critical decision you will make, choosing your very first product. I'm telling you, if you get this right, you've already won half the battle.
For your first time, you don't want anything complex. You want to be simple and smart. Your product should be small and light. That keeps your shipping costs way down. It should be simple to make, which reduces the chance of, quality control nightmares. Aim for something in the $10 to $200 price range, just to manage your financial risk. And please avoid seasonal items so you have consistent year-round demand.
And this quote just sums it up perfectly. As one experienced importer put it, you do not want to start out shipping furniture. And why is that? Because the shipping costs will absolutely eat your profits alive. You have to start small.
Okay, so you've got a product idea. Great. Now, how do you find someone to actually make it? This part is all about finding real partners, not just faceless sellers.
Your journey is probably going to start on one of 2 major websites. You've got Alibaba, which is the big one. It's in English, perfect for beginners. Then there's 1688.com. Now this one's for the Chinese domestic market, so it's in Chinese, but don't let that scare you. You can use a browser extension to translate it, and you will often find even lower prices and smaller order requirements, which is perfect for this whole micro-importing idea.
But listen, finding a supplier is easy. Finding a good one? That's the real skill. You should always look for verified or gold suppliers on these sites. And please never, ever, ever place a bulk order without getting samples first to test the quality for yourself. Check their reviews, ask for certifications, and don't be shy about requesting a quick video call. It helps you see their facility, and honestly, it just builds trust and helps you avoid scams. So you've done your homework, you've vetted a supplier, the samples look good, you are ready. Let's walk through the nuts and bolts of placing that very first order.
Okay, first thing you're going to see this term everywhere, MOQ. It stands for minimum order quantity. It's simply the fewest number of items a factory will make for you in a single production run. For micro-importing, you are always looking for suppliers with a nice, low, manageable MOQ.
Now, when it's time to pay, you've got options. For beginners, the absolute safest way to go is Alibaba Trade Assurance. It basically acts like a middleman, holding your money safely until you confirm you've received what you ordered. Bank transfers and Alipay are also super common.
Okay, deep breath. This is the part that intimidates most newcomers. We're talking about the complex world of international logistics, customs, and all those potential hidden fees. But don't worry, we're going to make it simple.
Let's talk about what is probably the most important number in your entire business, your landed cost. This is not just the price you pay the factory. It is the total cost to get that product all the way to your door. Shipping, insurance, customs, taxes, everything. I'm telling you, getting this number wrong is the #1 way new importers lose money.
So how do you figure it out? Well, it's basically a 3-step formula. First, you get your CIF value. That's just the cost of the goods, plus insurance, plus the freight or shipping. Second, you add the customs duty, which is a percentage that depends on what you're importing. Finally, you add VAT, which is a tax on top of that whole amount. It sounds a little complicated, I know, but there are tons of online calculators that can help you with this. When you look at it visually like this, you can really see that the factory price is just one piece of the pie. International shipping, customs duties, and taxes, they are all significant slices that you absolutely must account for if you want to know if your product is actually going to be profitable.
So the bottom line here is this. Do the math upfront. Plan for these costs. A surprise bill from customs can literally be the difference between a successful first launch and a failed business venture. Feeling a little overwhelmed by all that? Okay, there is a magic acronym for beginners. DDP. It stands for Delivered Duty Paid. Under the shipping agreement, your supplier handles everything. The shipping, the customs, the duties, and the price they quote you is the final price to get it to your door. It is by far the simplest, most stress-free option to get started.
We are almost at the end. Now for the final and most crucial piece of the puzzle, learning from the mistakes of others so you don't have to make them yourself.
So let's wrap this up with the 3 mistakes you absolutely must avoid. First, do not just chase the lowest price. It is almost always a sign of terrible quality. Second, never ever skip ordering samples. It is your only real way to check quality before you commit to a big order. And finally, get everything in writing. A clear contract protects both you and your supplier.
And there you have it. You now have the complete roadmap from finding a product all the way to getting it to your front door. The whole process has been demystified. So really the only question left is, what's going to be your first product?